This episode is sponsored by SmartVestor. Connect with an investing pro for free at RamseySolutions.com/invest. You're listening to Ramsey Everyday Millionaires, where we talk investing, retirement, building wealth, and outrageous generosity.
Joni is with us in Portland, Maine. Hi, Joni. How are you?
Good, thank you. I'm glad to speak to you guys.
You too.
I love listening to your advice.
Thank you. How can we help today?
I've inherited 2 trusts from my family. I'm calling about one was large, and I used a lot of money for my life. But the second one is smaller, and I called to ask about that because it's really cut and dry, and I extrapolate out that the investment losses and the taxes that have and fees that have been taken out, and it's scary. So the smaller trust that I got 6 years ago, 2006, $428. Over the 6 years, it's lost 12% due to fees, trustee fees, taxes, inheritance stuff, CPA, that kind of stuff. So that's reasonable, if you will. But when they gave me a rundown last fall, I noticed that if you took 12% from 2006, it didn't come out to 135, which is what they said the value was then.
$2,006?
200,000.
Okay. $206,000. Okay. So you put there was $200,000 in the trust, and you were charged 12%. Yeah, 2,000.
12% is 20. They've withdrawn have been fees and taxes of 12%, 24,630, and they say the value now is 135. So I did a little math and realized there was a difference of 46,361. Which is a 22. I said, how about this? Where did this money go? And they said, oh, it's depreciation. I'm like, how about, why didn't you tell me?
Depreciation in what?
Second of all, that sounds like an investment loss.
Joni, what's it invested in?
Through Stewardship Partners.
No. I asked what the investment was in, not who it's through.
Medical, no liquor, no abortion, no sex trafficking, no. It's all in medical advances and some clean stocks and bonds.
Okay, so it's individual stocks or in mutual funds?
Individual stocks chosen by the
and they basically built a portfolio that lost money.
Right.
Okay. All right.
And
how come you didn't know this for 6 years? How come you didn't know this for 6 years? It's your money.
Well, they told me it was going to keep increasing, and that.
I know, but they tell you a lot of stuff. Why did you not look at it for 6 years?
I guess, like the last caller, I'm paying a stupid tax. I trusted them. They told me it was going to increase, and I believed them.
Okay. All right. So you invested poorly. You got bad advice, and you followed the bad advice, and you didn't check in on it. So let's build something going forward, because I really can't help you with that. You just put the portfolio, or you put the investment with advisors that invested it poorly when you should have been making a lot of money. You lost money instead, and so you need to get it away from them. Agreed?
Yes.
And you need to sit down. Now, here's the thing. Your job going forward is to manage this money, not turn it over to someone to manage your money. You don't send your money off to boarding school. You raise your own kids. Okay? So your job
I did that part right.
Yeah, your job is to learn what the money's going into and why you think it's going to go up, and then check to see that it does, and have regular meetings and communication with a SmartVestor Pro. That's the people we recommend, and they have the heart of a teacher, because it is not their job to manage your money. It is your job to manage your money, and it is their job to give you advice and teach you, and you make choices to give you. They're an investment advisor. They're not a babysitter, or they shouldn't be. This is how people lose their tail end, is you just turn it over and blindly walk away and go, I trusted them. And when we talk to people in the pro sports world, in the NFL or other pro sports, and they say, I lost all my money because I turned it over to a man. I turned it over to my man. I got me a guy. And, that's code for I ain't looked at it. I have no clue what I did. I don't know what's going on. And then it's their fault. No, it's your fault. It's your responsibility to stay on top of this. So you've learned it sounds like you've learned a $50,000 lesson here, and you're going to move the money to someone that teaches you, and next time you lose money or make money, it's going to be your fault. Because when I lose money or make money, it's my fault. I don't blame it on the advisor. The advisor's job is to teach me, and based on what I learn, I make the decision. And based on the ongoing communication, I make the decision whether the money stays in something. And I certainly don't look at it once every 6 years.
Oh, gosh. That's
so
scary.
Joni, that's I'm not going to I'm not going to turn these guys into villains. They're not villains. They did what you told them to do. They did it poorly, but you didn't check on it.
Yeah, because every fund doesn't make money.
Well, this isn't even a fund. It's a group of stocks. They had built their own little stock portfolio, and
but it wasn't successful over the past 6 years.
They chose stocks that they were more concerned about whether they were engaged in sin than whether they were making money. And everything's clean, no alcohol, no whatever, all that, which is fine. I don't have any problem with that motivation. That's not a horrible thing to do. But if you're spend all your time analyzing it based on what the company does on that instead of whether it actually makes money, then you end up with a failing portfolio. And people do that with from a religious standpoint, which is where she's coming at a Christian viewpoint. I don't want it going into stuff that make God mad.
Right.
And I don't blame you. That's not a bad thing at all. That's a noble call. But while you're doing that, you have to make sure that the companies are actually profitable too. Otherwise, you end up with less money. So, Joni, I'm really sorry you went through this. It's an expensive lesson learned. I've learned it myself. Most everyone has at one time or another. But the lesson is that you get people in the financial world not to babysit you. Their job is to advise you, and you are a grown-up. You make the call. And then that'll keep you from ever having this feeling again of being ripped off. You weren't ripped off. No, there's no con artist here. No villain in this story. There might be some incompetence, but there is no villain in the story, including you. You're not a villain.
Thanks for tuning in to Ramsey Everyday Millionaires. To learn more about how to plan for retirement, visit RamseySolutions.com/retire or click the link in the show notes. Ramsey Solutions is a paid non-client promoter of participating pros. Learn more at RamseySolutions.com/SmartVestor.